So I have to say, it was well worth the wait. What's going on, folks? So in this video, I'm going to review Bleach Volume 6. Let's get right into it. So right off the bat, Bleach Volume 6 did not disappoint at all. From Volume 4 all the way up to Volume 6, I was on edge. I just kept flipping through page by page by page. Volume 6 is where everything started to come to a head, and you get to see like all these hollows pretty much becoming too much for Uru and Ichigo to handle. Now, Ichigo in this whole entire volume, you got Ichigo and Uru. Now they're coming to a head, and you think they're about to get into it, but they're actually not about to get into it. They end up teaming up basically, and they end up bonding. It's kind of like that whole thing with, you know, the animations. You got Goku and Vegeta, and then in like My Hero you got Deku and what's the other kid's name? I don't know, but you know who I'm talking about if you watch My Hero. You got that rivalry going on, but it's also like they're teammates. It's just a weird dynamic. It's just like, I want to save you so I can battle you later. that whole dynamic, it just, you get to see that Ichigo and Uru, they pretty much bond over, you know, why Ichigo fights the Hollows and wants to destroy the Hollows because of his mother. And then you get Uru, his master, basically his grandfather, actually died because the Soul Reapers weren't able to get to him in time. A whole big thing. So they kind of bonded over that. They were battling the Hollows and they were almost outnumbered. And then Hat and Claws guy, that's what we're gonna call him right now. You know the name. Go ahead, put all the hate in the comment sections down below. But Hat and Claws guy, he pops up with his crew, and it's a little girl, little innocent looking girl, and she just like blows the Hollows away. And then you see like the stone, like the big giant stone dude. I call him the stone guy, or is it Tasai or whatnot? I call him stone guy just because when Rukia tried to kick him in this one little segment, she pretty much hurt her foot. And then you got the other kid too. So it was like his crew, they came in, started wreaking havoc because Hat and Claws pretty much wanted Ichigo and Uru to handle this giant thing, Manos Grande, or Grande as we might want to say it. But so he could handle that. And he was pretty much testing Ichigo. It's like that whole mystery behind like, what's his motive? What is Hat and Claw's motive? I don't know. Throughout the manga series while I was reading it, I'm just like, okay, what's his deal? Like, what is he trying to do? Same thing, watching the show, like, what's he trying to do? We don't know yet. We don't know. All we know is like he knows that everybody has spirit powers, and he knows about the spirit realm, and then he knows about this, but I don't know his motive. We'll find out. And please don't spoil it for me or anybody else that's going along this journey with me right now. So we don't know his motive, but anyway, Ichigo and Uru, they go off and they go and they're pretty much trying to figure out the game plan to challenge Manos Grande. And Rukia is just like, and everybody's looking like, there's no way you can handle that thing. Ichigo runs off, gets pretty much kicked out of the way. And then Uru's just like, you really thought that was like a smart plan? So obviously we know who's the planner, Uru, and we know who's not the planner, Ichigo. He doesn't really have a plan. He just goes off and he just attacks. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then he finds another way. He's like the typical hero that's just like bullheaded, overpowered, and you go straight into battle. And then you figure out like a weakness later on throughout the battle just by experience, not by, let me game plan here. So Uru figures out that he can absorb Ichigo's energy from the his Konpak 2. I think that's how you say it. So he figures out that he can absorb his energy from that, but they had a plan to make a giant bow and then shoot at it. And then of course here goes Ichigo. Once Manos Grande decided to like do a huge blast, Ichigo decided to just run off on his own again, and then he actually blocks the attack. And we realize, and this is the part that you get to see, that Ichigo actually has way more power than he knows what to do with, and that anybody knows that he has, because Uru pretty much illustrates this for us while we're watching this. We're just like, okay, why is Ichigo able to block this attack? And then here's Uru with the illustration and the faucet and the energy overflowing. So you get to see that whole like thing play out. And then Ichigo ends up just slashing Manos Grande and pretty much making him retreat. And then that's when you see Ichigo passes out because he pretty much expended himself. And then now we get the whole like kind of sentimental moment between him and Uru where Ichigo's on the ground, his power is going overboard. Uru steps on the sword and he starts to absorb the power and starts shooting the bow in the air. And then we get this little flashback scene, you know, like how that whole entire thing goes. It was kind of like, it was more sentimental in the manga than it was in that. I guess after you see it over and over again in a multitude of animes and that didn't build up for you yet, it really didn't make it as touchy-feely. I don't know, it didn't make it as meaningful, I'll put it that way. Because when you've been with the characters for a while in an anime or a manga and you build up that connection with the characters, and then those moments happen, then that's when it touches you. But we've only known Uru for like, I don't know, maybe like 3 volumes or so. And we don't like him at first. So it's like, that's not really touchy to think that he might die by or lose his arm by pretty much helping Ichigo get rid of his power. Crazy. You get to see Chad and Orihime finally like discover their powers, and you see that the Hat and Claws guy basically tells them that, okay, well, now you got to make a decision, and you get to see that, okay, this is what's really going on. So we know, or at least I was thinking, okay, where's the training montage or the training arc? Everybody's about to go into training and develop their powers if they decide that they want to go through with it. But yeah, that was Bleach Volume 6, kind of like Volume 4 all the way up to Volume 6. I got the three book series to where it's a 3-in-1 basically, and that saves me so much space, and it actually saves a lot of money. So if you are buying manga currently and you're new to it, I recommend getting the 3-in-1 instead of getting just one at a time, or instead of buying like a whole entire box set. Sometimes life gets in the way and you have to slow down on your reading, so it's crazy to buy a box set and you haven't even committed to reading consistently like me. I'm trying to be consistent with it so I can stay on track, but you know, life gets in the way, and then I get to have fun and I get to do this and I get to connect with you guys. So I really enjoy this, and I also enjoy the community that I've already started on here with this whole anime series. All right, so what was your favorite part of Volume 6? Leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.